The Gloom-woven town starts with the presence of a monster. The Gloom Weaver is a mysterious and elusive creature, native to the dense, dark forest of a distant realm. It is said to take the form of an old woman and is often confused with hags. The most distinct difference to be observed between them is instead of fingers, they have long, gross tentacles which they use to weave parts of reality into items. These normally take the form of cloaks and hoods. Such cursed clothes have a variety of effects and almost always end in tragedy for the owner. For example, once a halfling dreamed of being on eye level with humans. One day he stumbled upon a Gloomweaver in the woods, and it offered him a cloak with an indescribable pattern. It lifted him to the height of a human and held him there. His feet could not touch the ground and he had no traction for travel. The cloak gripped his shoulders and neck tightly, threatening to strangle him when he tried to remove it. He dragged himself out of the wood by grabbing trees and pulling himself. He now rests in the town with a withering body as a warning to those who would take magical gifts. The village has since placed a bounty on the Gloomweaver, but more than that, they have banned all magical trinkets from being carried in, and as a result, create a black market for such items. A few months later, a girl disappeared. At the time, it was rumored she was trying to purchase a black market magic item. The father went out searching and found a cage. Beside it stood the Gloomweaver. A pact was made for her survival. She escaped, but the father disappeared, and not a week later, a mysterious cult appeared in the town. Unknown to the town, it was headed by the father who made the pact before. The daughter joined in time, and now they and their followers show praise to the Gloomweaver. The cult, of course, hides themselves from the town, but recruitment is a necessary process. The most common method is a journey to nearby towns where they begin to tell tales in the street to catch the attention of passerbys. The town is governed by a mayor and sheriff. Both are elected and in danger of being booted out at the end of their term. Much of the town looks for them to do something about the Gloomweaver, but sadly a distraction mysteriously arrived. Tentacled creatures rising from cracks in the earth. The sheriff spends almost all his strength gathering the men needed to keep them from becoming a common sight, and the town has started to turn lawless as a result. The mayor looks to the horizon for help, occasionally summoning heroes to reduce the crime, but this process is expensive and the town's coffers are draining. The church of the region has no cleric, only an untrained priestess who houses the poor. Her funds too are almost gone. She speaks the light of Pelno, which has drawn the ire of the cult. Recently a fire left the shrine covered in ash, which has left the poor preferring to sleep on the streets as opposed to burning alive. Those who show up for times of worship are few, and all desire a greater cleric to take her place. The market is a generally average location where produce and goods are sold and bought. The town was built on a rich copper mine, which one day ran dry almost instantly from a wealthy point. Most miners took up farming as a result, but felt a lack of purpose. This led them to be susceptible to the cult's recruitment. And the market has fewer people with each passing week. Should the market's food ever dry up, many of the residents will be forced to leave. The mayor feels this could very quickly turn the area into a ghost town. And finally, south to the town, one other place of note lingers. The Gloomweaver has interest, but is careful not to tread too close to the ancient building. It was a church once. During the last Great War, a necromancer ran it over. It's currently operated by skeletons who act as automatic defensive soldiers in a long finished war. Many rumors float around the church for what is inside, and even the church's deity is not remembered by the town. What adventures could happen here? And if you enjoyed that, press subscribe to see more content, and then watch this video on the Giant's Pack Animal.